You're listening to RTI Audio, powered by Rocky Top Insider. This is Pancakes and Bacon with VFL, Kyler Kerbison, and Reed Bacon.
Hello, Vol Nation. Welcome to another episode of Pancakes and Bacon. I'm your host, as always, Kyler Kerbison, joined with Reed Bacon. We're back into the swing of things this spring. Madness is definitely going on in March. So we're enjoying all this basketball, which we're going to talk about. Reed wants to start by shouting out the Vol baseball team and what they've been up to, how well they've been doing versus our competition. But first, before we dive in to any of that, Reed, how are we doing, bud?
Yellow. You know, Kyler, on this beautiful Sunday, some would say I'm doing sweet.
Oh.
It's like Dr. Evil.
That was so fucking dumb. Oh, God.
Oh, Kyler, how I've missed you and your funny comments. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's been a really nice weekend here, weather-wise. I don't know. Has it been nice there in Nashville?
Yeah, it has. Low 60s-ish.
Yeah.
It's been nice. It's about to rain tonight, but besides that, it's been good. Just this morning, I was weed eating, trying to get as many of these like vines out of the front hedges as I possibly could. They're all over the place. It's awful.
Did you say you were you pulling them with hand, or were you?
I mean, yeah, you kind of have to, because they're just kind of like intertwined at the base of all of the hedges.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really have room to put in tools in there. So yeah, it's like all by hand, and there's just so much. There's so much. I've been putting it off forever, and I still got more to do once we're done on the pod.
Oh man, I was out doing yard work this weekend too. It's been nice. I mean, you know, it's kind of that you know, it's spring, it's the start of the year. So yesterday was the first mow, but I was like kind of excited about it because, you know, wanted to get the yard looking good, wanted to have the house start to look good. But it was nice, like throw on the headphones, just listen to music, vibe out. You know, we'll fast forward to August and I'll be like, all right, enough mowing, dude. This is stupid.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but right now it's good. And then I did a little weed eating, which isn't bad. But I always think about you when I'm pulling weeds, because I hate it. I know you hate it, but I remember it was like a year or so ago, and you're like, dude, Brianne and I, we hate it so much that we were just like, all right, we're waking up early. The first thing we're doing is pulling weeds. And once that's done, then we'll like have our coffee and everything. It's like you guys just knock it out of the way.
Yeah, no, it was something, because when we first moved into this house, no one had touched the outside for like a year. It was like bad, overrun, weeds that look like trees. So it was a lot to get through. I appreciate Brianne, because I know it's not easy for her to kind of do that. It's easier for me with my football background to be like, all right, just like turn it off. We're in zombie mode. We're just going. We're just getting after it. So yeah, I appreciated her like at least helping me on that day. But it was tough. I mean, they were the whole yard that we do have was overrun.
Yeah.
With the
I literally was down at the yard yesterday, and I didn't really start picking weeds. I was more weed eating, but they're starting to grow down in front of the sidewalk, and there's some big boys, and there's a little bit of that once you pull it out. That's kind of that like really gratifying and satisfying, like, you know, the bigger it is and you pull it out and stuff. But I haven't really gotten to that yet, and I just always think about you when I see that. But yeah, it's been a great weekend. Was out there mowing, relaxing, like I said, vibing a little bit. I was joking with Megan because after I did that. I came back here and pulled or cleaned out the gutters over the garage because I've done the gutters on the house a couple times, but the ones on the garage just need to be done. So, and our garage is not attached to the house, so I needed to go clear those. So I was doing that. I was like, man, I'm just out here crushing it, bro. Like if there was like an all-pro award for lawn, I got it yesterday, but it was
for husband homeowner.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it's like, bro, I'm 33, about to be 34. It's just the wildest thing. It's like 10 years ago, I'd been waking up, wanting to work out, hang out with my friends and just watch hoops all day or, play golf or play hoops. And now it's like, yeah, you like that yard? Yeah. And
no, dude, I wish I was more into it. Like my mom and my dad both are more into yard work than I am. Like my mom is like, she'll say it's like cathartic for her to like get out there and like just be by herself and do it. And like my dad, he's got fucking tomatoes like growing. Like he grows like vegetables and shit. Like he loves it. And I'm like, I don't have that. I do not have a green thumb. I do not enjoy mowing every weekend. I do not enjoy pulling the weeds and trying to set up the thing and trying to clip the edges and all. Nah, I'm good. Like, please, someone else take care of this.
I used to be that way growing up, and then when I was with my parents, we had a push mower for the longest time. Then we get a riding mower, and guess who's not allowed to ride the mower? I'm not, because Robbie doesn't trust anyone to do his yard. But
you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
He doesn't trust anyone to do it but him, but he likes it because he just gets on there and drinks brews and listens to his music so it's not even work. It's just cruising. But my yard is like perfect. It's like the perfect. My yard is, I can do the front and back in an hour, and yesterday I basically did a little bit of the back, mainly the front, but yeah, I was just vibing, man. I was out there. It was hilarious because I'm out there and I'm a wide range of music guy. I like anything from rap and hip hop to oldies to some classic rock to just whatever. But yesterday it just happened to be, I think it was Moneybagg Yo that was playing. Maybe I forget who it was, but it was like some gangster rapper, and I'm out there like getting going, listening to it. And the next thing I see is this older gentleman in like one of the smaller SUVs, and he's got this cute, adorable little like some sort of poodle dog, and it's like heads out the window, and so like the street coming in front of me, Sutherland, and I see it, and I'm like, listen to this, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, puppy! I was like, how are we today? Because its head was out the window, and so then it turns up my neighborhood, and I see it turn up my neighborhood, and this time now it's all the way out with his little paws out the window, and his hell head's out. Last time it was just like you could see his head and that, and then I was like, oh, where you going, puppers? You're so cute. You love the wind, and then he drives off, and I'm like back to it. I was like, that's the most perfect me thing ever. Just listen to some Memphis gangster rap, and then I see a puppy, and I'm immediately just like, oh, that dog's adorable.
Yeah, you're just like, murdered that hoe. Hello, puppy. How are you? Fucking in a rat.
But anyways, full swing, man. March is incredible. March Madness has been great. Before we get there, just really quick, there's nothing more true than if you win and you're a winner and you're really good, I don't care what it is. Hell, I'll come watch you mow your lawn if you're the greatest lawnmower, speaking of it, So just to be able to lock in and be able to follow along with baseball, like now I actually will pay attention and listen to it. I'll watch some of the games now compared to just waiting till the end. And I wasn't surprised at all they lost to ETSU. 2 years ago, I told my dad, I was like, we'll lose this Lipscomb game. It's just kind of how it is. I said, all these in-state teams, this is their Super Bowl. And basically anyone we play is really their Super Bowl. But these kids that maybe have grown up in East Tennessee or even Middle Tennessee and been Tennessee fans, it's like ETSU, Walter State, Lipscomb, Belmont, any of those small schools, I don't care what they say, 99.9% of those kids would probably murder to be on Tennessee's team.
Most of them were hoping to get recruited by Tennessee and then didn't.
Exactly. So when we're playing and ETSU's had a good program, Tennessee Tech's had a good program. I remember when we were in college, Walter State was probably they were a better program and were better than Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of these different programs. But yeah, so I'm not upset that we lost that game. Would have been cool to go undefeated and kept that streak alive. Yeah, but at some point you're gonna lose. It's baseball. And the longer it goes, the more it kind of builds up, and get it out of the way now. And so I'm happy for those ETSU kids and good for them. But the competitor in me sees those guys cheer and get fired up. And I would be fired up if I was on ETSU and running my mouth and stuff. But then again, if I'm Tennessee, I'm like, guys, me, like you personally know me. I'd be like, hey, dude, like chill out. Like,
chill the fuck out.
Like this isn't a weekend series. We're not pitching our best.
This isn't for this College World Series.
Yeah.
This isn't for the SEC. This is a one-off.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, if you want to celebrate and cheer, like meet us in Omaha. We'll see you there. Then you'll let them know who the big dog is. But then it's the same thing with Bama. You go into Bama and Bama celebrates big time. And we got 2 more games. It's like you can be fired up and juiced, but you better be careful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really cool, Kyler, that Tennessee baseball for the past 3-4 years, probably 2, 3, 4 years now, is the Bear. And we're definitely the Bear now because we won the national championship. So you better be careful when you poke it, because if you poke it, you better bring it the whole time. So
yeah, no, I mean we're the hunted team. We're the number 1 team. There's a reason behind the ranking. Like, we have been killing people. We've been doing it with an attitude, and that rubs people the wrong way. It's not just winning. It's also winning and rubbing it in your face and kind of,
Mm-hmm.
being brash about it, which is what we've been doing. And that ticks guys off, and they want their chance. They want their chance to take off the top dog. I mean, it's the exact same in every sport. Why is Duke hated so much in basketball? Why is Alabama hated so much in football? It's like, you win a lot, you do it with some swagger, people are going to hate on you. And that's how Tennessee baseball is right now, and it's really fun to have a team like that.
It is.
The last time Tennessee had a team like that was women's basketball, where it was like, who else is going to be over here? This is our, like with Candace Parker, it was like this is ours.
Yeah.
Nobody's touching us.
Yeah.
And now baseball. Now, can we get basketball there? Can we get football there? That would be lovely. But for the time being, baseball is that team across the country.
Yeah, completely agree. And we could technically be feeling that way, but it just hits. We technically could feel that way if we've just had some deep runs in Omaha. But like when you climb the mountaintop and you're a national championship, it hits a little bit different.
Oh, for
sure. Because there really is nothing that can be said. So anyways, you can click that puppy down to March Madness. It's been great what the baseball Vols have done. And anytime you beat Alabama in anything, it's fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay. What was your thoughts on the March Madness, the first 2 games? We'll say the first 2 games.
I mean, good. First game, it's like, hey, you knock them out. You don't need to really worry about it much. I mean, to me, it was kind of like, hey, just don't do the stupid thing. Like keep with what you do. Play good defense. Make the shots when they're available. Really enjoyed it. It was just like, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
We're all good. We're not the embarrassing team that loses, which it kind of feels like it's very chalk this year to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Arkansas won, but they were also a really good team. I mean, They played a lot of good ball. They got a coach who's been in the tournament before. So it's like there are a couple of those. McNeese beating Clemson, but not the huge ones like we've seen 16s taking down 1s or 15 taking down 2s. And so like it's working out, chalk. I'm looking at our side of the bracket. I was worried about UCLA going into it, even though I haven't watched UCLA. I've watched Tennessee basketball. That's what made me worry about UCLA. Just like, here's a random team in the second round on that first weekend that could surprise us somehow, because that's how it always feels, that they,
let me say this though real quick, not to jump in fully, but I'll get there when I talk about it. UCLA is not a random team though, because they do have Mick Cronin. They were just in the Final Four probably 2-3 years ago. So for me, I don't know when you say random, I feel like a random's like here's Old Dominion or something. Like,
I mean, I don't know. It was just, to me, here is a faceless team. Like, it was just like, here is a faceless team. Didn't matter who it was, if it was from Pac-12, Big 10, Big 12, Big East, that didn't matter. Here's this 7 seed that's going up against us that just makes me nervous. I'm like, God, dude, like this could be one of those games where I just look back and I'm like, what a horrible way to lose, because that's what's happened to us in the past.
Sure.
So going into it, I had those nerves. It was, kind of close in the beginning, but our ability to kind of pull away. Some of the plays that guys were making, I mean, Zakai is an absolute dog. Everyone knows that. This is not news to anybody, but just getting up in people's faces on defense, batting the ball out of bounds, even if it's not, hey, a turnover, it's like, I'm on you. And then some of his dishes were insane, like driving literally all the way underneath the basket and throwing it around another dude's body to get to a 3-point shot. Like, he was going in. So funny, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but Meshack hitting 2 threes. I mean, I was like, hey, what are you doing out there? If you're not going to be shooting, why are you out there? Like, don't stand out there. All it does is like gets rid of open shots for us. That's how I felt. And now he's like, all right, let me take them. Let me feel confident. Let me take them. Love it.
I do too.
Love it. I mean, if you have an open shot, take it. You're in college basketball. Like, if you're at that point, I trust you as a shooter. Like, I think you can shoot the basketball.
It's funny you
make open threes.
It's funny you say that, because he mentioned something like, I don't know if it was middle of the season or towards the end, but he was like, I got to remind myself in high school, I was like, one of the best players on the team, could fill it up, 20, 30 points. Yeah. And like, don't forget, just because you are so good at defense and people label you an athlete and a defender, like go back to that, bro. Because like you just said, you're a college hooper. I expect you, if you get an open shot, to at least make, 1 of 2, maybe 1 of 3. But you were talking about Zakai. So I'll say this: I was a little bit nervous going into the game, which, knock on wood, usually if I'm nervous and think we're going to lose, we win. And when I'm usually pretty confident and comfortable, we either lose or it's way closer than the experts think. But for whatever reason, maybe last night was the switch for me. But going into the basketball games this year, I've been like, I know we are a good team, but I still am not necessarily confident that we are going to pull the games out. Compared to in 2022 football, by the time we got to that Alabama game, because we had beaten Florida and then we had beaten LSU and everyone else, instead of going to that third Saturday in October, being nervous, like, I hope we can do it, I'm like, let's fucking ride. And that's a great feeling to have as a fan. Yep. It was almost like there's nothing to lose. We're 7-point underdogs at home against Alabama, but like, we are clicking. Like, I want to take the fight to them. And then in basketball last year, it was super easy to have that feeling because we had Dalton Connect. And Chaz Lanier is really, really good. Dalton Connect was special and different. Yeah. And it was because of just the type of overall prospect and player he was. Like I said, Chaz Lanier is great. I'm not taking anything away from him. You can get him the rock and he can do something, but he's not Dalton Connect. And so when you have that on your team, you're like, all right, let's go, dude. Like, I know Purdue's really good. I know they have Zach Edey or whatever. It's like, I don't care, though, because if we truly need it, like, potentially Dalton can go for 40 or 45.
Yeah.
And so I had that, like, nothing to lose mentality. Let's go. There is a little bit of nerves, though, compared to March Madness, compared to football. Because when you go into football, if you do lose to Bama, it really, really sucks. But your season still goes. In March Madness, if you don't win, then you're going home, and it's really painful. And you feel like you should be able to clutch up with, it's like, hey, if Rick Barnes is going to do it, this should be it when he's got his best player and one of his best teams. But anyways, I feel like maybe last night for me was like, yeah, like, dude, really trust this team because I watched this, I've watched every game now for about a couple weeks or a month. Like, obviously I watched the SEC tournament, and watched some of the last regular season games. Then I watched his first tournament game. Like you said, it was comfortable. It was nice. We didn't have to worry about Wofford that much. It's kind of like they kept a nice safe distance. But then last night I'm going in and I watched UCLA's first game the other night. Mick Cronin is a really good coach. I thought they looked awesome in their first game. And I was like, dude, this is so nerve-wracking. Like, this would be it. That you don't really hear much, and I get it, we're all across the United States, but like I didn't hear a ton about UCLA basketball this year.
Yeah.
But then you start watching them, it's like, damn, that guy's kind of nice. Like, he's kind of nice. And then it's like, whoa, where'd they get like a 7-footer that's like kind of saucy on the offensive? And then you're like, oh, here we fucking go. I'm like, and Mick Cronin, like, I respect Mick Cronin as a coach, but he's kind of, I think basketball has officially football refs, I feel like, can be what I notice more because I know the game of football better than I notice basketball.
Yeah.
But I think for basketball, what bothers me about refs is the guys that pander to them. Maybe because, like, in football, you can be like, hey, watch this, and they'll be like, yeah, dude, whatever. But in basketball, you can legitimately work the refs. And I just felt like how that game started last night. I didn't like some of the calls going both sides.
Yeah.
And then you hear Mick over there, like his guy goes in and it's a miss and they don't call it. And it was a good no call because it wasn't. But it's like one of those where like a guy drives in, he's like, yeah. And it's like, bro, you initiated more of the contact, you missed it. And Mick's over there like, come on. And so it's like,
yeah.
The other thing is too, Kyler, with basketball, you see these guys' faces. There's only maybe 5.
No, you can sell it. You can sell it a lot more in basketball, and the people on the sidelines can sell it.
Yes, and so the selling, and then also being able to see these guys directly, and instead of 11 on offense, 11 on defense, there's about 5, 6, 7, 8 that maybe play. It's like, wow, I really can't stand you, number whatever. I really can't stand you, number. So I mean, I tweeted it out, but like we're in the game, and 2 minutes in the game, I'm like, all right, I hate 34. Like, this 7-footer, like, I'm pissed, and it's because
dude, as soon as that 7-footer started like moving about and getting a look, I was like, mother effer, we got a freaking Zach Edey on our hands all over again. You got to be shit. He's about to have his Cinderella moment versus us and just go for 28 and not foul out for some odd reason, make 14 free throws. And then everybody's like, have you heard about this guy at UCLA? I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to us. I like, there were times in the first half, he's making buckets. He's fouling dudes. And I'm like, they're not calling it. And I just look back at myself like, you got to be kidding me. But I thought our guys played very good defense versus him. Mm-hmm. No matter who was out there. Because, like, you see Phillips on him. You see Meshack on him. You see, I mean, multiple guys had to be there. And it's like, okay, like, I'm not going to let you move me around. Get your little floater up. It's still going to be contested. I'm still going to go straight up right in front of you. And, I'm never upset if it's a good, hard defensive play and contestment. Like, I'm happy. If that guy makes that shot, fair.
I'm with you. And I'll give Big Boy credit. Like, he was kind of saucy. I mean, he had a nice little turnaround, some baby hooks. And he was pretty decent against protecting the rim. I mean, it was a blatant foul against Iggy, and we'll talk about that in a second. I think the one that really frustrated me, though, is when they, like, he's in between the basket and the free throw line, and he kind of catches it and just turns and kind of like lays it in, and Meshack just goes up, but they call the and one, and he turns around, he's like, it's like, dude, you didn't yam on somebody, you didn't go in there and get a contested super cool layup while getting drilled to the ground to where you need to like flex on him. He's just like, you're 7'3", you literally caught it, turned, and laid it in, and it shouldn't have been a foul call. And he's just like, And so it's like, that's where like I see these guys getting hype. And number 34 for them, he was a pretty good player down low. I mean, he had some really nice, I just really like and respect big man or down low play, but he had a couple really nice like spin layups, a little baby hook, and the announcer's like, oh, that's a little Tim Duncan. This is not the 7-footer. This is the other guy. But that all this has happened in the first half, and I'm just like, dude, are these guys just playing out of their mind? Like, what are we doing? Like, I've heard about how they struggle offensively, but it seemed pretty easy. And I even texted some guys. I'm like, I feel like, and maybe it's because my nerves are making me think this way, but I'm like, UCLA looks like the better team. We just have Chas Lanier. And then the Tennessee Vols like, hey, Reed, like, get a grip, dude. Like,
yeah, no, and I think too, it was like they were making some threes, but not all their threes. Like they were still like clanking some, and we were able to get rebounds. And then they end the game with only 7 made.
Yeah,
on like 20 something shots. So it's like, okay, like we're doing what we're supposed to, because like I just said, the contested shots that our defense creates, where you have at least a hand in dude's face, is more than other teams that I see. Like there are hands and faces almost every time someone shoots, which is like, okay, I love that. No one's getting free looks.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was like I said, I should have trusted them more, but it's Tennessee closed out that first half really well, getting some steals. I started feeling pretty good there. I mean, hit a big bucket, then Chaz gets the 6th steal and layup and finish. And
that when we're up 25-27, then it's free throws, and then it's steal, take back, and one, make the and one, then halftime. It's like, okay, guys, good job. Like, that was a great 2-minute finish in a football game. That was perfect.
Yep. Yeah, and then they come out, and if I'm not mistaken, our first possession in the second half was a made three, and it just kept like, hey, we're at 8 or 9 points, we're at 10 or 12. UCLA really never had that like punch back, and
it felt like UCLA was trying. They were hitting, but then as soon as we would come down the next one, it would be one of those plays where like Zakai drives underneath and throws it behind his back to another guy. Meshack hits a three.
Yeah, Gainey's the one.
Like if I was UCLA, it's just like we just made a three.
Yeah, Gainey was the one that hit the first one that Zakai went in and threw it around. Gainey hits that one after he threw up a couple bricks in the first half. He hits another big three at the kind of the right side, top of the corner. So yeah, and then like you said, Meshack hits 2, I think. And I think the only thing I was frustrated with is Igor. I still to this day have not seen him shoot it like live. Watched him shoot a 3 and it goes in. I've told myself now that if he pulls the trigger on a 3, I'm closing my eyes and then just waiting to hopefully hear the announcer say it's in. Because if I watch it, it ain't going in.
I think there's a lot of times where he had the opportunity. He's not shooting it.
No, he's not. It's frustrating because I do think he needs to be a little bit more offensive threat. The dunk I tweeted it out. And I shouldn't mean for every dunk in every case, but for that specific, there's no excuses for him not to make that. I know he got fouled.
Yeah.
My point is, get there faster and get there more violent. That's just my opinion. I'm talking about that specific play. It's a good pass. Igor is 6'7" or whatever, 6'6", 6'7". Even if he's 6'5", I don't give a dang. Bro, you have a free lane. Get your ass in there quicker with more urgency and yam that puppy home. Yam it home. And make them call the foul. I know it was a foul, but for me, if you're that big, it's that wide open, you should never miss that dunk unless someone literally tackles you and holds your arms down so that you don't get the bucket up.
I agree. I think it's also like how high above the rim can you get to where you can yam it, and if like you're barely getting above, you ain't yamming anything. Someone's going to take it off of you.
Exactly. And I think he can jump that. He can get up there and throw it down physically, but it's like he didn't that time. And that's what bothered me. It's like, this is March Madness. No possession. You can take no possession for granted. You got a free lane. Like, go in here and hammer it home.
It's like punish the guy for reaching his hand in there while you're doing it. Like, break his wrist.
Yes. That's how you have to go in. Is like, if someone comes in for this, they're going to pay for it. You know
Exactly.
But anyways, no, I mean, it's awesome to watch Chaz. I mean, he's an absolute flamethrower. It's pretty wild. By the way, I don't know if you've watched this. I heard about the Volunteer for Life, the story of Chris Lofton coming out. I didn't watch it immediately when it came out, but I was like, I'll catch it at some point. And then last Sunday I had just sat down and it was on. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, I'm going to watch this. And it brought back so many great memories for me because, I mean, I still love the game of basketball, but basketball and football were like neck and neck tied for me growing up. I mean, I absolutely loved basketball. And Bruce coming in, and like I said, he was always my coach because he's who turned it around. He's who the coach was when I was younger, and getting to follow him and watch him basically through middle school, high school, and even into middle school and high school, and getting to watch some of that stuff. It's a really cool documentary if you haven't seen it yet, the Volunteer for Life, about Chris. And we never forgot how awesome Chris Lofton was. We'll never forget the shots that he made. But it was also cool seeing some of that behind the scenes footage. But it's wild that I hold Chris Lofton in such high regard, but it's like Chaz just broke his record.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because you're younger and so you look up to dudes different when you're younger. I think some of that has to do with it.
I think so. But
Chaz is him. Like, Chaz is really like, Chaz has to be, I'm not saying as good as these guys, but like when you talk about like the really, really goods or greats, I mean, whether it's Dalton, whether it's Grant, whether it's Chris or Chaz, I mean, and Zakai's up there. Zakai's going to be mentioned kind of like Admiral Schofield, where it's like Admiral was really good, but he wasn't the best player on the team.
Yeah.
It's like he's more of like a fan favorite, but like Zakai, and to talk about Zakai too, the guy's always been really good while he's been at UT. I truly didn't think that it could potentially happen. It wasn't like, I guess it just wasn't something that I thought about because I'm not breaking down basketball like we do football. But I was just like, yeah, Zakai's really good. It never hit me that he could take even one more step as like a super senior, or not a super senior, but as a senior. But I personally do feel like he has taken another step, whether it's offensively, whether it's with confidence. Like, I truly watch him now and how he handles stuff. And this sounds really lame and cliche to say, but it seems like the dude is just on a mission. We could lose the next game, but I'm just saying the way he's carrying himself and the way he acts and all that stuff, like, he's taking another step. I mean, I
agree.
That step back three that he buried, it's like, when Zakai used to shoot, I'd be like, oh, I hope that goes in. Like, I do have pretty good confidence. Now it's like, I don't know, man. It's just,
I think that comes with the amount of time he's played, like the amount of years he's been out there. And I think that ties into what you were just saying about Chris Lofton and like Gainey and stuff. It's like Chris was there for a few years and doing things at a high clip for a few years. And he was the guy that you could trust to pop that ball out to, and he's making the three.
Yeah.
So it's like a signature thing like that, because even like a Grant Williams, like everyone loves Grant Williams. Everyone loves Admiral Schofield, who was with Grant Williams.
Yeah.
But Grant Williams didn't have like a thing about him necessarily, where Chris did. Like, Chris is more known because he had that, here's the three ball. And that's when the three ball wasn't Steph Curry kind of three ball. You know what I mean? So I think that plays into it. I think Gainey only being here for a shorter period of time.
I mean, Chaz.
Yeah, Chad, like having the burst for, a shorter period of time and then being like, okay, is it sustainable? Will he be here longer? And that leads into Zakai. Like, Zakai is loved because he's been here 4 or 5 years. He has worked his way up. He is the underdog at 5'7", 5'6", whatever he is.
5'9", but yeah.
To be like, I don't give a crap if I'm short. I'm going to play nasty ass defense. I'm going to hit threes when I need to, and I'm going to be an assist leader. Fantastic. This guy loves basketball. It's not about accolades and making the most and everyone look at me. So I think it just all depends on the type of player they are, whether they get remembered or not. Because
that's great. It's a great.
a couple years ago, what was the freshman's name?
Kennedy Chandler.
Kennedy Chandler. I just forgot his name. There are plenty of Vol fans out there probably like, what was his name again? Like, can't remember because he was here 1 year. He was great. We won the SEC. He did some good stuff for us, but it was 1 year. That's not like it's not long enough to really like cement in our memories.
No, I think it's a great point of, hey, how long are you here? But I think it's also a really good point that you mentioned of how they play the game.
Yeah.
Because there's certain players that get remembered and people will remember them better than what they actually really were. It was just because of how, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, if they had that little bit of like,
there are so many football guys I can call out because of that. It's just like the way they played the game were so great, even if it was during the times when we didn't win. It was just like, dude, I loved watching this guy play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Because in basketball, it's an easier example. In basketball, be like, man, he was so awesome. He was so this. And you go back and you think like years go by and you think like, oh, like he was probably a 15-8 guy. And you go back and it's like, no, dude, averaged like 7 and 3. but he had big moments and played pretty well and stuff. So, but Zakai was always good and scrappy, and we loved the way he played. But I think he's just taking that other step to like he's a bona fide dude where it's not just assist and running the team and playing good defense. Like he can be a threat scoring, he can clutch up, like it's all of it. So I mean, I'm excited. I really hope Illinois beats Kentucky today because
I know this Illinois-Kentucky game is huge. I do not want to see Kentucky for the third time.
It would be a stake in the heart if they knocked us out of the Sweet 16 after a baseball sweep of our ass. And Illinois, we've already played and beat them. So it's like let's do it again. That confidence is there. I don't care what any player says. You've lost to a team twice. It's in the back of your mind. Like it is.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, all those guys, I think everyone on Kentucky is wanting, like, they can't wait to play us again. They want the redemption.
Yeah.
So I'm like, keep me out of that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Rooting against Florida this morning. I thought UConn had it, and then they just gave it away.
Hey,
God.
Florida.
Florida was trying to give it away too.
I agree.
Stupid fouls.
Florida did. There was a little bit of like a baby bit where I was like, UConn, that was kind of stupid. You didn't clutch up, but Florida absolutely clutched up. That point guard for them is a bona fide stone cold killer. That dude is nasty. I could watch him play anytime. But it was weird, Kyler, because I didn't want them to win, but I didn't want UConn to win. UConn got their two national championships, but it's like I'm a little over the whole Dan Hurley stuff. It's like at first it's decent. Now I'm like, oh.
But I didn't think UConn was good enough to continue to win where I think Florida is. And it's like, oh, if we can knock this team off early in a weird game, then great.
And I 1,000% agree with you that it's take them out when you can so we don't have to worry about Florida getting one because UConn probably does lose. But still, I just didn't want to hear it and stuff. But I hear you. I mean, I get it. I wanted both of them to lose. But, man, I hate Florida, but they're a fun team to watch. I'll tell you that. They step up and make plays, bro. I respect them big time.
They got some good guys on that team too.
Yes, they do. Yes, in all facets. They've got their Meshachs. They've got their Zakais. They've got their bigs. And what I mean by Meshach, like they got their all around players. I mean, they've just got every piece. So, anyways, man, next Sunday, hopefully we're on here talking about, I guess, the Final Four appearance because they'll play the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight games next weekend. Is that correct? I think.
Man, I'm not the guy to ask. I
think that's the case. If my memory serves, I think that's the case.
I think so.
I don't think they do a week in between. Next week.
The 27th and through the 28th is the Sweet 16, and then the 29th and 30th is the Elite Eight. Yeah. So if you play Thursday, you will play Saturday.
Yeah. Friday, Sunday. Yeah. All right, brother. I will see you soon. And just as a reminder for the people, we will be ramping up football once this ends.
All right.
See you, handsome.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you are watching, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. If you're just listening, rate and review, download, re-download, follow us on those listening platforms. Follow us on social media as well. All the links are below, so check that out. You guys are the best fans in the world. Let's enjoy this March Madness that we got going on. Hopefully we can make it to that Elite Eight. That's what I want. And hopefully it is not Kentucky that we are playing against. But again, thank you guys so much. You're the best fans in the world. And as always,